Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm actually in our daughter's little suite area down here because she just went back to college. And upstairs we got a reno going on. So, anyway, today we're going to talk about self-love deficit, SLD. We're not going to say self-love deficit disorder. Why? Because we all know I'm not a fan of that word. Why am I not a fan of that word? Because disorder insinuates that something is wrong with us, that we are flawed and defective in some way. It's a shame word, that we're damaged goods, and who needs that? That's why I wish I could wave a wand over the DSM-5, which is the book of labels, which is also used to get people the proper treatment, blah, blah, blah. However, the words, I would do a whole revamp on the language, to be honest with you. Attention deficit disorder. I'm not disordered. There is nothing wrong with me, right? I'm wired differently. Bipolar disorder, this disorder, that disorder. Why? When somebody's already struggling with something, or challenged with something, let's say that's better, do we really need to slap the word disorder on it? I don't think so. Okay, so self-love deficit, it just is what it is. And the thing is, it obviously comes from a lot of places, often from childhood, because often if we grew up in an addicted family, which we've been talking a lot about, or a non-addicted dysfunctional family, and we were sort of constantly reminded, told, whatever, that all the gazillions of ways we didn't measure up, or you got some love but not as much love as you needed. Basically, the reason there's a deficit there, it feels like something's missing. It really is there. It's just clouded over. But the reason it feels like there's this big gaping wound in the self-love department is because however you cut it up, our own value wasn't mirrored for us. That's what happened. And again, I'm trying to put it out there that I'm explaining, describing, and not blaming. Even if it really was 200% whatever person's fault, mom or dad or mom and mom or whomever, who maybe blatantly abused you, right? The thing is, we got to reel that stuff in with the blame at this point as grown-ups, because when we blame is out here, right? And that means we're dependent on change and healing out here, where the person might not even be alive anymore. So we don't want that. Okay, so we're going to bring that back in. We can explain and validate without blaming. Validation is very important. So self-love deficit is really the number one place you want to focus your life minutes on in 2022, because there is nothing more important or powerful than self-love. Nothing. We cannot fully love other people, our partners, our children even, our golden retrievers, anybody. We cannot fully be available to love other people if we don't love ourselves first. And obviously the big umbrella blanket of unconditional love is also acceptance and compassion, self-trust, all of it. But really, we often sort of scurry around putting our life minutes in all different, in all different directions. It just aren't important things. It just don't matter. And so to start, whatever that is for you, whatever that means to start small, you might be difficult for you to show compassion to yourself. It's so much easier for you to show compassion to a friend or even a stranger than it is for you to show it to yourself. And there are all kinds of baby steps to do that, because here's the thing. When there's a deficit of self-love, it just leaks into every other area of our lives. Our relationships, the workplace, anything we're doing really, and never mind all the internal dialogue that's going on. So it is the number one. Only when that self-value is uncovered can we live our best self. So here's the thing. We're going to start out with talking about, or continue talking, we all came into this world as babies with self-love. Babies inherently know that they're loved. A 2-year-old wouldn't walk around saying, oh, look at my thighs. Oh, I don't think I look good in this. Oh, that's not my best angle. Ooh, look at my butt's too big. And, or and then when we're seasoned, that just translates into other stuff. 2-year-olds inherently believe that they are worthy of love and being cherished. I love the word cherished. Then somewhere along the line, by the time we're adults, we often lose that feeling of original worthiness that we came into this world with, knowing with every cell in our body, in our bone marrow, that we were worthy. And that's because shame. We were introduced to shame, which is the most excruciating and debilitating, I'll just say that, emotion a human being can feel, because it's about being flawed and defective, damaged, broken, whatever. So, how do we get that back, do you say? Well, I'm going to share it with you. Here's the thing, you never really lost it. It just got really clouded over, and it might have been mud thrown over it, so you can't even see it, or it feels like you can't even see it right now. And the real deal is, and as cheesy as it sounds, is that really everything we need is already inside of us. It just doesn't feel like it when we've got big gaping wounds. But here's the thing, your authentic self, who feels whole and complete, is still in there. He or she or they are maybe pushed to the side, passenger seat, back seat, maybe even trunk. Okay, because you may have had a lot of damage done to you as a child, none of which was your doing, was your fault. Anything that involves a child can't be your fault anyway. So here's the thing, we can take little steps. We can be very mindful of our internal dialogue, for one, and catch ourselves. We can say, oh, there we go again. There goes my anxiety again. Oh, there goes my depression again. I'm not this enough. I'm not that enough. I'm not, enough. And catch ourselves in that, and we have to stop it. Just stop it. Now, obviously, if you've been going at this for a while, and you've kind of allowed that self-deprecating thinking and worry and all that to go on for a while, it's going to be a little bit heavier lift. But just stay with it, and remember that the bar is at do your best. Wrap around yourself with love and compassion. Wow, am I doing well with this today? I slipped up a few times. I caught myself in a conversation with a colleague that I was, putting myself down about the project we did, and I really didn't contribute much when I really spent 80 hours last week on it, whatever. I caught myself, and maybe I didn't say it right away, but whatever. And just make sure that it's just about doing your best and getting a little better with it. Another good trick to do can be visuals. Actually, let your inner 5-year-old out to play with construction paper, and make something cut out with magazine pictures or whatever. You are beautiful. You are amazing. Especially hone in on the areas you don't feel amazing. If it's you're not outgoing enough, you are the greatest friend to have. You're the kind of friend somebody would want to have. If somebody beats you up as a child saying you're lazy all the time, put signs up on your mirror, in the fridge, and every place else you look, in the bathroom. You are such a hard worker. You're the hardest working person I know. You don't stop till it's done. You're a get it done person. Put all that stuff up there. All that stuff up there. It may be difficult for you. And remember, this is my mission, because I know what it feels like to not feel valuable or worthy of love. And so much so that I didn't even know always how to not ingest bad things. I'm not talking about crystal meth or anything. I'm also not judging anybody with a drug problem, but I'm talking about just candy bars and stuff. I don't know, just and not that that's bad once in a while, but I just didn't have it in me to really care about that for a long time, because I realized later, that was a bad example because I'm not really into sweets that much. But anyway, the point is, and I'm also very impulsive because of my fast mind wiring, although the rest of that stuff matters, because we don't always take care of ourselves nutritionally, because part of it might be impulse, part of it might be habit, being conditioned. There's also a thing with stress eating. We go for the carbs for a reason, because they have something in them that makes, brings our anxiety levels down and all that. And part of it is deeper, that we're not valuing ourselves and not paying attention to what we're ingesting in our bodies. And it also might be, maybe you're not as active, because part of that also, it can be complicated. Conditioning. It's dark and cold right now because it's winter. Oh, hi, Hamlet. He's right out the window. There goes, he's our big boy goat. He's the oldest one, the big bro. Anyway, there's so many ways to not take care of ourselves besides compassion. And here's as far as outward compassion, like the eating thing, the exercise thing, time for ourselves, all that. And it's very, very important to love yourself. There's no bigger deal than loving yourself. The most powerful thing you can do for yourself, your relationships, and the world. There we go. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.